All right, ladies. Well, welcome to our Skill Ups. We're back in September. School started, and it's time to get your skills up there. And customer care and follow-up are the very heartbeat of what we do as consultants. Does anyone know why customer follow-up is so much a central value to our business? Any guesses?
Because there are return orders in our future income.
Okay, perfect. So you're going to have repeat customers order because you gave them good customer service. And they're going to be loyal to you because you gave them good customer service. And you're then making residual income on hardly any work, right? Send them a quick thank you, and that's about all you have to do. And they'll order again and again and again. Good. That's one reason it's the heartbeat of our business. Any other ideas? Why would it be so important to have good customer service?
Maybe because they'll, possibly one of your shows later, or possibly even be one of your, I guess you could say, recruits later on.
Exactly, Megan. They can fall in love with the products, and boom, you follow up with them, and they become a hostess because you then tell them how beneficial it is. They can get, their next order for free because they're going to host a show with you. And oftentimes, I remember one in particular. She was a hostess, and I followed up with her a year later. I mean, I did the initial ones, but we had, I was following up on long time customers, and I thought, she needs to have another show. She did such a good job with the first one. Well, she wasn't interested in doing what do I say? She wasn't interested in doing an in-home, but she decided to do an online, which my repeat hostesses oftentimes switch it up. And then her show went so well that she decided to become a consultant. So that was me just reaching out to customers that I had established a relationship with, a long, but kept that relationship going, basically. Hi, Sarah. Welcome. Joanne. Welcome. We were just starting, and we're unmuting ourselves to share little ideas about why we think customer care and following up with our customers is the heartbeat of what we do as LeBri consultants. The two ideas that we've come up with so far, so help us out. There's more than this. One is it can lead to repeat orders. So customers that are happy end up ordering again, and then we get extra income. And then Megan shared that when we follow up with our customers, we also get new hostesses or repeat hostesses, and even potential consultants. So those are two, but I'm kind of poking at you, trying to get you to think a little deeper. Now, so far, you've been talking a lot about what it brings us, right? But let's think about what that customer service does for your customer.
It gives them this is Sarah, it gives them a great experience of knowing that you don't just want to make money off of them, but you really do care about their skin. And if you follow up and you say, how is the treatment? How is your skin responding to treatment? How is this working out for you? Mm-hmm. That can go a long way in both repeat orders and new hostesses, but just really truly knowing that you care about them.
Exactly. So I've often used this analogy because someone, we bought a mattress 3-4 years ago, and we spent several $100s on that mattress. And did anyone ever call us to see how we're doing, how we like it? No, nothing. Once we're out of the store, once we've made the credit card purchase, they don't really care, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've gone to X, Y, and Z direct sales parties before, and I purchase, whether it be pots and pans or a dish rag or whatever, and I have yet to have someone follow up and ask me how I'm loving my pan or how my Norwex claws are doing. I haven't had that. So it sets us apart. It sets us apart as not just a superior product, but superior service. And that bleeds down from Linda herself. Linda would say herself that she was the queen of customer follow-up. It was her passion because she knew that if she took care of her customers, they would take care of her, meaning they would continue to order and continue to be happy. And even when other consultants are right in your neighborhood or right down the street, they're going to be loyal to you like you would not believe. So that's really the heartbeat of what we do. And think about it, we are in a relationship building business. Okay, we're not just, putting screws on a shelf, or we're not just, stocking shelves or what have you. We are in a relationship building business. And I've been challenged to think about my why. And I know at our team gathering, I asked everybody to write down their why and then share it. And a why could be to earn a trip to Maui. It could be, but it oftentimes is much deeper and bigger than that. Like it could be that I just love helping people. Like that's what motivates me to do my customer care calls when I really don't want to. Or that's what really motivates me to pick up the phone to get some more shows on my calendar, because I know I'm going to be introduced to more people and I get to help them. I get to help them with their skin. I get to help them with the chance to hear about how they can get products for next to nothing, and also hear about the benefits of doing what I do and making some money to help their dreams start getting funded and fueled. So that's like, I think a lot of us would have the same why. Like we just love to help people. I mean, think about it. We're moms, right? Like that's what moms do. Like we're constantly caring for others. But in this arena, we really get to care for people and make good money doing it. So how fun is that, right? Hello. So that's the heart of Labri, is we want to be good at making sure that people are satisfied. Because if we don't, and there are many, many, many consultants out there, and I'm not perfect at it, so don't put me on a pedestal, because I ebb and flow just like all of you. But there are consultants that literally have never done a single customer care call. And in my opinion, that is like doing the company a disservice, right? It's because we represent an amazing company that's put out amazing products, that's put out an amazing profit plan, amazing hostess program, and we owe it to Linda and Brian to represent them well. And one way we can do that is giving good customer care. Hi, Trudy. Welcome. I know you're muted. I get it. You guys are all shy. So I am excited to have all of you guys on this call, because we're going to talk specifically like the resources you have available, I'm not going to like go through step by step what you should be saying, because literally that's all done for you in the Learning Center. You guys know that there's a humongous tab called Customer Care, and there's audios where Linda herself talks about customer care, and other executive managers that have shared their insights on the importance of customer care. And then there's scripts and what to say on the first call, what to say on the second call, what to say on the third call. But tonight, I want to focus on the heart and why we do what we do. And really, this is what excites me, and this is what I think will motivate us to do what we need to do. I put the post, I put the quote on my little reminder that said, you know, successful people are willing to do the things that unsuccessful people are not. Customer care calls are one of those things. They're kind of a nuisance, so to speak. They're another thing. And, you know, it's not like every time you call someone, you're going to get a sale or a booking, you know, so you have to set yourself up for you're providing them a service, and it may not benefit you in the short term, but it definitely will benefit you. I mean, I have people that are asking, I'm asking for referrals. Well, if my customers are happy, do you think they're going to want to share my name and my products with their friends? Yeah, for sure. So, well, I'm just going to give you an overview, because all the details are, like I said, in the Learning Center. But the first thing that really is important is touching base with your customer 3 times within that first 30 to 45 days. Especially, and even more often, if they have some sort of skin challenge, acne, rosacea, really dry skin. So Megan's sharing for sure her experience, and you can chime in if you want to share anything. But Megan, long distance handing customers are harder, in my opinion, than in-home shows, because in-home shows I can actually look at them, I can see their enlarged pores. Then when they say they have blemishes, I can see the blemishes, or I go, you have blemishes? Like, where are they? I can't even see them, because they, you know, think they have blemishes, but you know, maybe they have an occasional blemish. But then there's others like me. I had quite a few blemishes, and I was in denial because I was embarrassed. I was like, well, you know, I'm probably just the deep pore. Well, I was not the deep pore. I was definitely the blemish trio, and I started out with the wrong trio. So, you know, that can be a challenge when you're working with long distance customers, but staying in contact with them can make or break whether they're going to stay with LeBri, stay with you, and ultimately find the success that they want with their skin. Anything to add, Megan? You're just living it.
What do you want me to add?
I don't know. I'm just making sure I covered everything.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part. I mean, it's just one of those things where I have 2 girls that my sister got to order, and I really wasn't doing follow-up with them. My sister was, just because they were comfortable with my sister and talking with my sister, but through the communication, it was not, I guess the information was not given correctly, so I had given them what they should use, but it wasn't. One of the girls is pretty much, she's done. She wants to go to Rodan and Fields. The other one is like, I'll stick it out and try it, but I don't think it's going to work. I think we're on day 5 or 6 of the new trio. One girl I just touched base with before my sister went to work, and she's doing better. The oil is still bad, but it's still getting better. The other one is just kind of in that mood of, I think she's given up already. Mm-hmm. And so Renee, I've been working with Renee at home office, and she's been really good with what questions to ask, how to follow up, and all of that. But it's definitely discouraging, I guess you could say, because, you know, you think you're doing something that, you know, right, but then they didn't explain their skin correctly. And even still, one of the girls, I don't think, she sent a picture to me, and the way she first explained it is how it should have been. But then when she re-explained herself completely and then sent the picture, I was like, yeah, you have blemishes more here. I didn't see any blemishes the rest of her face, which then Renee said it's more hormonal acne then. But when I looked at her, I couldn't see really a lot of shine on her face. And she said that the picture was taken like an hour to 2 hours after washing your face. And that's when she said she becomes oily again, where she's wiping it away. Mm-hmm. But normally I feel like in a picture you could see the, not reflection, but you could at least see the shimmer on her face. And I saw no shimmer. So again, I'm touching base with Renee and kind of keeping in contact with her, but it's definitely a struggle when you have someone kind of already that's written off Labri, but you're still trying to do whatever you can to encourage them. I'm not saying that they have to stay with me. I'm not saying that they, you know, I'm going to lose out on a sale or I'm going to lose out on a customer. That's not my thing at all. I just know where she's going to go next is Rodan and Fields, and it's not, I mean, she's going to have instant, I guess you could say, relief or instant gratification in a way, but it's not going to be doing what she needs it to be doing. It's just pretty much burying everything that she needs, you know, and so it's just a little frustrating, but we'll get there.
That's right. So thank you, Megan, for sharing, because that is really the key, is to get that connection right away. One, it lets them know that you care about them, you know, that you want what's best for them and you want it to work. But it starts that relationship. So, you know, I think back to my customers that reorder, and when I send my thank you email or my thank you in a message, I'm asking them about their kids, and I'm asking, you know, like, we've started that relationship. And I think that's where the rewards run deep, is I'm changing lives just by being that encouraging voice for someone, or someone that cares, you know, like, how are you doing today? You know, kids off to school, you know, that kind of thing. Because people want to know that you care. Not many people take time nowadays to care. I mean, sorry, it's really true. So the first touch, if you want to say, there's 3 contacts or touches that you do in that first 30 to 45 days. And, you know, depends on the skin issues and all of that. But the first one can come shortly, you know, 3, 4 days, 5 days, maybe a week, depending on when they get their products. So you're just kind of touching base. I actually try to do the first touch when I put their order in. When I put their order in, I do a couple of things. One, I send them an email. Because here's a little trick. They don't get, you know, unless I give them my business card at the show. Online shows, you don't give out your business card. But, you know, they oftentimes lose your contact information. So if you don't reach out to them, if they're having any issues, they're probably not going to reach out to you. 1, because they're too embarrassed. 2, because they're used to buying from a department store and you just throw it away instead of, you know, calling someone. And 3 is they lost your contact information. So I email them and I just say, hey, thanks so much for coming to Susie's party. It was so nice to meet you. Your products, I placed your order tonight, and hi, Nicole. I placed your order tonight, and you should be getting your products within a week or so, you know. And I always err on, Labri says 5 to 7 days. Joanne's probably 7 to 10 days, just to give yourself that window so that people aren't disappointed. By me giving them an email, boom, I'm in their contacts. Yay, that's what I want. And 2, I've really established that I want to connect with them. And I even say that after you get your products, I'm going to connect with you just to make sure you don't have any questions and make sure that things are going well with your products. So I'm letting them know that this is how I roll. This is what I do, and this is what you can expect. Now, Linda Kaminski reminded me just now as I'm thinking, is that contact or that expectation actually starts at the show. So she would recommend, and I do this maybe not as consistently as I should, but I do at my shows say, you know, when you purchase your LeBron products tonight, you not only get these great products that are going to last you a long time and get you off of chemicals, but you're also getting me. I care about what happens with your skin, and I'm going to make sure that you are completely satisfied. So you can expect that I'm going to call you after you get your products just to check in. And boom. So I can say that to the crowd. I can also say that when they, at checkout, I can just let them know. So, when you get your products, just know that I'm going to be calling. Nicole gave this great idea of using the phone, because we oftentimes, all the business cards are only as good as you can find them, right? So having them snap a picture of your business card, then bam, they have it in their pictures. Nicole and I are doing a vendor event this Saturday, and she kind of put together an 8x10 framed. Well, we're going to frame it. That's my job, is to find frames of our business card. She just, we kind of put our picture in there and our contact information. And at the vendor show, we're going to have people take a picture of it. And boom, didn't cost us anything but the $1 to print that picture. So that's another, you just want to have them have your information in many different capacities. So an email right away. The other thing that I do is I friend them on Facebook. If I haven't friended them on Facebook before the show, I definitely do it after the show. And then the third thing that I've not done yet, and I will see if I can do a Margot little training on this, is Margot sends out these, reminders, right? So if your hostess puts in all the emails, yada, yada, she's like extremely wonderful, and she gives you all these emails. By the way, it doesn't happen very often. But if she does, you get all these emails, and then, you can send them, Margot will send them a reminder, 48 hours before the party, a week before the party, and then the initial invite. But what I didn't know about until after convention is that I can, as the consultant, go into Susie's show that happened yesterday, and I've got this stack of orders, and now I can put their emails in after the show and set up Margot to send them an email from me, like automatically, like a week after, and 2 weeks after that, and then maybe 2 months or the 3-month marker, where you're just going to say, hey, I just was thinking of you. I mean, you can say whatever you want in that email, but you can program Margot to send your email follow-ups. That's pretty cool, especially if you want to do, then maybe the first couple, that initial one, and then you want to set up a time to talk with them. But that's a really awesome resource that we have, that we're, makes our job easier. And once we have that email, it's golden, right? We just want the email. So I do that. So I send them a thank you email. I also friend them on Facebook, and then I send them a message on Facebook. I'm kind of doing a little investigation to see how are they going to respond to me first. Is it going to be via email? Then this person probably checks their Facebook once a week. Or, 10 minutes after I send them a message on Facebook, they've accepted my friend request and they've written something back. Boom, I know that Facebook's probably going to be the best way to initially reach out to them. And then the other thing that I like to do is in that email, I put the link to my VIP customer group. Some of you have a VIP group, some of you don't. It's just a great kind of way to educate your customers on new products, or, I have one gal, she just lives a stone's throw away from me, but she's probably one of the more active ones on my page. And whenever I do a video, she's like, oh my gosh, I learned something new. Bring it on. I want to hear more. I mean, she's just hungry to learn more about the products. So those are the 3 things that I try to do initially. Other consultants that are more organized than me also have a MailChimp account. It's free up until like 1,000 emails. So it's a great thing to organize. And so when they put that order in, they also add that person's email and contact information to MailChimp, so that when they do their newsletter, and you can go back, I mean, I've gone back and added all my people to MailChimp, but that's another piece. And MailChimp, I can, I'm going to write myself a note here. MailChimp is something I can do. Jody Keller is an executive manager. She's like way organized, like she checks, she's an Excel lover. Megan, you'd love her. But she has written out step-by-step how to use MailChimp and how to, go about setting up your MailChimp. So I will dig up that document because I know she sent it to me. So I'm going to find it. And then I'm going to do the Margot training on follow-up. Okay, so does that make sense? How you really, the whole idea is we're so busy. We want to make our customers, we want to have our hostesses invite her guests in 2 or 3 ways. Well, the same thing goes with customer care. We want to get our name out there and get it in front of them in multiple ways. Email, Facebook, and if you want to go the full distance, some people send a card and just thank them for coming, or at least cards to their hostesses, and just say, it was just nice. It just shows that little extra bit that you care. Okay, so that's the first touch or the first contact. The second one's going to be probably one of your most important ones, and that's going to be after they get their products. So my general rule of thumb is, for Wisconsinites, I like to do 5 to 7 days after the show, because if I put the order in the next day, it takes 3 or 4 days, and then they use it 3 or 4 days, ideally, and boom, you're calling them at that week, at that 7-day amount. If you're Joanne, you might try it at 7, but they might not have gotten their products yet, So ideally, you want to kind of gauge, when do I think they're going to have their products? You can now ship. You can now check to see when it's shipped, and so you can do a little bit of tracking that way with your customer orders. But that first one, after they've used the products for a few days, is super duper important. One, they're expecting it. If you've laid out the groundwork in your email, in your message, they're expecting it. And I haven't been consistent with this, but at my shows, having everybody put my phone number in their phone, because that's what they don't answer their phone, right? It's because they don't know the number. So don't be taking it personal if you don't get an answer, like you leave tons of messages. Well, it's because nobody's answering their phone. No one's picking up anymore. So we just have to be smarter than that. And that would be a couple of tricks is, pleading your heart. Customer service is really important to me. And I want to hear how you're doing with the products. This is very important to me. So that's a plea. Oh, listen to this. Nicole's using the raise your hand. You got to love this. Okay. Nicole, go for it. I'm unmuting you, I think, unless we did it at the same time. Are you doing it or am I? Oh, there you go. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just got done. My son had a hair appointment and stuff, so I was kind of listening in between getting my eyebrows waxed and everything. So I just want to let everybody know that I'm going to link a photo of the 8x10 card for you and me, so that if anybody else wants any ideas. But I'm going to drive home, so I'm going to log off for now, but I'll follow later.
Okay. Sounds awesome. Thank you for that. And thanks for raising your hand. That's so fancy. Did you guys all see that? She raised her hand. Oh, I can't hear you. You jumbled.
I said I don't know how to text on them yet, so.
Well, I'm impressed. That was a really cool raise your hand experience here. Okay, so we'll talk later. And thank you for that. So, and Sarah raised her hand too. My word. Okay, Miss Sarah, go for it.
I just had to see how to raise your hand. I'm like, raising your hand. That's cool.
Brother. Now we've got an unruly class. I got to bring back in order.
But this is all great information. Thank you. Okay, I'll be quiet now.
You little sassy girl, you. Okay, so second contact is super duper important, and that's where you want to dig into your learning center to know what to cover. You're going to make sure that they got their product. That's going to be first and foremost. Did you get your package? Have you had a chance to use it yet? What have you noticed any difference in your skin? Most of the time, if they've used it even a couple of days, they're like, I haven't noticed a huge difference in my wrinkles, but I've already noticed my skin's a lot softer. So generally, that's what they're going to notice after, that 3, 4, 5, even, a week and a half. It's going to be how soft their skin feels. And then in that conversation, you want to make sure that they're using the products properly. That's the key is, are they only using a little bit? Are they adding water with the cleanser? Are they adding water when they use the moisturizer? Those are super duper duper important, right? And I used to always really be good at those, but the one question that I forgot to ask when I first started was, are you using them morning and night? Because if they're using them just happenstance, but they're using them properly, they're not going to get the same results and they might be frustrated. So that's where you can really encourage them to do exactly that. Sarah Kern, go for it.
Oh, I didn't raise my hand this time.
Oh, well, maybe I just didn't lower your hand.
Oh,
Okay.
I was being good.
Oh, my word. Okay, got it. I'll mute you again. Okay, so that's the important one is, you want to, and give them a realistic, they're not going to see a difference in their wrinkles, for that 30 to 45 days. And if they've got blemishes or rosacea, oftentimes these take time, and really it has a lot to do with what products they were using before Labri. If they were using a a hodgepodge of different things. Their skin is so confused that we have a corrective skincare line. And that's really what we need to make sure that they know that. The line that Linda Kaminski said is, how is your skin responding to treatment? So that's indicating that we have a corrective skincare line. So it's correcting from what they were using before. Okay. So that's the second one. And what about people you can't get to use the freshener? Okay, good question, Sarah. So if you can't get them to use the freshener, one, it probably boils down a little bit to your education during the show. So at my show, I am really, really, really a big stickler on how important that freshener is. It pH balance the skin. If you want your anti-aging serums to work and you want your moisturizer to be the most effective, your skin has to be pH balanced. So oftentimes people give me a hassle because they don't know, because they're trying to be frugal and not spend the money, or they're trying to, have it take less time, right? Or not having to buy cotton pads. I don't know. So that's what I would say is really educating, and even the importance of using it morning and night. You want to have your customers educated on how they're going to get the best results. They invested in it. Why not take the time to do it properly? Because you only get one face, right? So take care of it. And that's important. So following up after they get their products, super duper important. Linda would say that should be a phone call. Okay, so now let's fast forward to today's day and age. People don't answer their phone. If you leave that message, be upbeat, tell them, I'm just checking in to make sure that your skin's responding well to treatment, that you're enjoying the products. If you have questions, that's what I love to do. I love to take care of my customers and make sure that you are getting the results that you want from your products. So I'm going to be in my office tonight from 7 to 8:30. And if you call me back, I'll enter you into my weekly prize drawing. Now, that's one way to solicit people to actually call you back. There's other ways, and you don't have to bribe them with a weekly, but Diane Klopp uses that, and it works really well for her to get people to call her back. And she just gives either a 2-ounce hand and body lotion, some samples. I mean, it doesn't have to break the bank, but it kind of sets people up for an expectation of, and then if you have a VIP group, you can announce, hey, this week's winner is, So these are ideas. You don't have to do them. I'm not consistent in doing that one, but Diane Klopp is. And so I'm sure that really works for her. But you want to do that first and foremost. And then I never just reach out to check on them one way. So if I left the voicemail, then I go back to either email or Facebook, whichever one I feel like I'm going to get the best answer from. And I basically say the same thing in a message. Or I don't do text as much as other people. I don't know. Messenger is my friend. If I'm going to do anything, that's what I prefer. Because then I can see it. Well, if they read it, I like that aspect of Messenger. So that just says, I left you a voicemail, but I wanted to follow up, with an email as well. So then you're building that relationship. Ideally, if you don't hear back from them with, whatever mode they want, then you call them the next day. You don't wait another week and give them a call. You call them the next day. And you can even say, if I don't hear back from you tonight when I'm in my office, I will try you again tomorrow. They're going to expect, and now your number is in their phone. So those are just setting up those expectations. I think too many people treat their business as a hobby, and so they're real lackadaisical about a lot of it. And if I give the impression that I'm lackadaisical, if they're having trouble, they're probably not going to reach out to me. But if they know that my main goal is to make sure that they're happy and I'm taking my job seriously, then they're going to answer the phone or they're going to respond to an email or a message because they know that I care about them and I want what's best for them. So Megan says, how do you set the tone for customer service when most of your shows are on Facebook? You don't ever meet face-to-face. So a couple of things that I've done. These are great questions, Megan. One is I try to, I message everybody that's at the show. Like I friend request them and send them a message, thanking them for coming, and do that initial touch base. And then in that message, well, I'll back up. In my Facebook Live, I say that same thing. You know, my job is to make sure that you're satisfied with the products. You have a 45-day money-back guarantee, and I am going to be in touch with you so that I know that you're completely satisfied, or we need to tweak some things. Sometimes we have to, but that's what I love to do, is make sure that you're happy. So I say that during the show, and then during my message to them, you know, I can reiterate that. When I don't do it as much now. I mean, I need to get some shows on my calendar, girls. I'm just telling you like it is. I got to get going. But when I first started doing Facebook shows, I really, really stressed them calling me with their credit card number. I didn't even give them the show ID number. And why that was really important to me. And I guess, you know, it depends. It really depends on your crowd. It depends on, you know, if people want to just order online, bam. But they miss out. They miss out, and you miss out too, because when they called me with their order, they oftentimes knew what they wanted to order. But if they didn't include the freshener in their order, guess what? I had that conversation with them. So you remember, you know, I know that, you know, you probably don't want to order the freshener tonight, but let me just give you a couple of things to think about. You know, our products are made to work together, and the freshener is actually a really important piece, and it's going to make sure that your anti-aging serum that you added with your set works well, because our skin works only as well as our pH of our skin is, and when we want that to be correct. So I can educate her. Oftentimes they would maybe order a trio and an eye gel, and I'm like, girlfriend, you know, you can get the eye gel for free. Let's get you basic set 1, and then you can add the serum. So oftentimes, just with practice in calling and talking to them, I got them to add another product to their order. You know, or they order online, and LeBri, the website, used to prompt them to say, you're, you know, free order, free shipping over 60. It used to be 60. It used to prompt them during checkout if they were, you know, everybody got prompted basically. And now it doesn't. And so they order, you know, $56 worth of product, or now $60.50, and then pay shipping. That just kills me. So that contact helps me to feel like I'm helping them save money, not pay shipping. And boom, if they just order the trio, then I'm going to recommend that they order a sample set to add to their trio. At least they get to try 7 different products along with their trio. And boom, they didn't pay shipping. And I helped my hostess out because that $6.95, if it's a travel set, counts in her show. And I got paid a small part of commission off of that travel set. So those are things to think about, especially with older people that are like, preferring that. When I listened to Liz Chulkin talk on the Maui call, and if you haven't listened to the Maui call on customer care, Liz's home run, Liz. She's fabulous at customer care, and you can tell it's her passion. But her customers are loyal because of it. Even when they go to a vendor show, they don't buy because it's convenient from, me. If they'll go home and place an order with her because they know that she is their consultant. So, I'm learning how important it is as well. So, okay, does that kind of give you some feedback? Just setting that relationship up is really important. Setting it as an expectation and then actually doing it. I've set it up as an expectation at a show and then got busy and I didn't follow up like I should. And then you have this big question like, do I just not call them at all? Because, I have to feel, like I didn't hold up my end of the bargain. And my answer to that is eat your humble pie and call them, because a late call is better than no call at all. And I've apologized and they're like, oh, we were busy too, blah, blah, blah. We were on vacation, and it's no problem. Like, people are gracious if you have that humble pie. But if you don't call, you're probably going to lose them to somebody else, because there are consultants that are giving people good customer care. And we want to be that for sure. So, and then if they're loving the products, let's say you follow up with them and they're loving their products. They're like, blah, 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 and they're just going on and on and on. What can you do then? What's going off in your head? If you follow up, they've been using the products for 3-4 days and they're absolutely in love. What would be your next thing to ask for?
Hosting a show or referrals.
Yes, hosting a show, right? She might not have said yes at the party for whatever reason. Maybe she just wanted to try the products to be sure that she could be confident in sharing them with her friends. I mean, I wouldn't host a party if I just tried it once unless it was like wowing, and that's what it was for me. But, some people are that slow cooker. You got to warm them up to the whole idea. So hosting a party, you love the products, but this is just a small portion. I can't wait for you to try more of the products. Let's get some of your friends together. Notice I didn't ask her. I'm suggesting. Let's get some of your friends together. That's sales lingo for those of you that are taking notes. You're just gently suggesting, we had so much fun at Susie's. Let's get some of your girls together. And I would love to help you get lots of products for free and at great discounts. What do you say? If she says no, no worries. Yes, let's. That's right. That's right. So, and then let's say you're building that relationship, right? So a little bit of that conversation is just getting to know her, So did the kids start school this past week? Oh, how old are your kids? You're taking notes. You're taking notes as you're having that conversation, because it's all about you building that relationship so that when you call them next, you can ask, oh, so, the kids have been in school. How's Bobby doing? Like, whoa, she remembers my kid's name? Like, who does that? Well, people that care. But I don't remember everybody's name and their dog, right? But if I take notes, I can look like I'm better than I am.
Hey, Lisa, at the show I did this weekend, I did that on probably 75% of the people I talked to. I actually jotted notes down so I had something to be like, hey, because I figured, that's the way to go, right?
That is fabulous. Yep, at your vendor shows, when you sell anything, you jot down a note about, girl with glasses and her daughter's 3 and her daughter had eczema, like whatever it is, take notes right away while it's fresh in your brain. When I put my orders in on my shows, if they're, in-home shows, I take a couple of notes on their order form. Or LeBri has this fabulous customer management tab that you can enter a note, personal note. She's a teacher. Oh my. So don't bother her during, conference time because she's swamped. I'm not going to ask her to do a show. I'm not even going to call her during that time. So, those type of things help. And then that third contact is about at that 30 to 45 days, So if they're having any issues, they've shown up and we can tweak out a cleanser or, but if there's any trouble with their skin or there's, any type of things that they've vocalized at the show that they're nervous about, you got to follow up right away. So does that help with customer care? And then, then you can put them on a rotation of, the shows make it really easy because I can just go back, 2 or 3 months and pull up those shows that I did back then and open them up and rattle off and give them a quick call again. So that's, and the other thing is sending out those thank yous for reorders. And some of you maybe haven't had a lot of reorders yet, but that's another way to keep your customers loyal. Like, you want them to know that you're appreciative. Thank you for being one of my customers. I love spoiling. I just sent out a couple of email thank yous today because I'm working on my customer care. I'm trying to get better at it because I'm not always good at it. This is probably one of my weak spots that I have to really work at. But I sent out a thank you to her, and then I also invited her to my self-hosted show. So I cannot stress enough to you to do a self-hosted show. I don't know why it's taken me this long to figure out that these are really valuable. And I think I know. I've done a December one. I've done, a reveal one, but not to do it every month. But the whole momentum that I'm seeing is I had one new gal. So I sampled her a couple months ago, and she, we stayed in contact. She didn't really want to have a show. She didn't really want to set up a one-on-one. She wanted to come to one of my shows. So I'm like, well, I'm going to host one of my own, and I'm going to make sure that I'm going to make sure that she can come. Basically, I picked the day that she could come. And so she came, and I did one the next week. I did 2 back-to-back because my setup was all there, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do another one because And she said she'd come back, and she brought one of her other friends with the second time, and she's bringing snacks to the September one, and she already has one friend that's coming. So you just need kind of one little ringleader. Maybe it's a customer that's like in love but doesn't want to do her own show. Well, Judy is this gal's name, and if Judy brings 3 people, guess what? It's going to be Judy's show, because she's bringing me the new customers. So she's doing the work of a hostess. It's just at my house. So, but the excitement that's building with these self-hosted shows. So here's the cool thing is when I connected with some people that I bought, that bought a couple of products at a vendor show that I did like 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago. And my second paragraph, one is just to check in. Here's how things are going. And then, hey, I just wanted to extend a special invitation. I'm hosting my own show, and I've attached the invitation. I'd love to have you. Feel no obligation to buy. This is my chance to spoil my customers. It immediately puts them at ease, right? Because they're not thinking they're coming, but they always do buy something. But these self-hosted shows are a way to show me the money. They're a way to increase your customer base. They're a way to book shows. I know I'm going to have bookings off of mine. I just know I am. So if you're not doing self-hosted shows, we only have September, October, November, and December left. And we don't know if LeBri is going to continue them next year. It's been a 1-year offer. But so take advantage of it. I've done online ones as well. But the key to whether it's online or in-home is you have to be a really good hostess. That means you have to invite via personal messages and then texting and then calling them and then sending the email invite and then setting up your Facebook event. So, we want to do that. If you don't do the work, you probably will get one person, which one person is better than none. So don't be discouraged if your first one, it will build. What does it say? Build it and they will come. So if they know, and the key thing that Liz Chulkin said is she always sets the date for her next one while the people are there. So they know, all right, and she does different things. So I did makeup last time because it was at the end of the month and it was on sale. I'm doing makeup and foot soaks because I'm going to have some repeat that have already done the makeup. So I'm throwing in my foot soaks, and they're going to get to try some of the body care products that they've never tried. Liz said she does every couple of months, she does a skincare review, and she actually does facials, and she gets new people there. And she also, it's a good review for those that are using it, because we oftentimes forget how to use them properly. How many of us have gone to a show and had a repeat person come to the second show, and she's like, I don't think you said to add water to the moisturizer. I don't remember that. I'm like, I say it every time, girl. I didn't tell her that, but that's really what I do. But she didn't hear it because there's so much information. So that's how important it is. And it's going to pay off big dividends. Just you wait and see. Like a huge part of your monthly income can come from repeat business as you build and as you stick with it and give your customers the customer care that they deserve. Questions? Are you guys ready to hit the phones? All right. Don't be scared of those phones, because set yourself apart. This is like you caring about people. And if you show that, they're going to sense it. You know, I love calling them and not asking them if they need anything. If they, you know, I just say, hey, you know, how are things going? Or, you know, Susie, thank you so much for placing an order for her show. She's going to get $350 in free products because of you. How cool is that? I mean, she's going to feel good, but she's also going to go, $350? Maybe I should have a show. These are the little things that you can plant those seeds during your good customer care. So, awesome. All right. Well, I will bid you adieu. I'm going to stop this